Cleopatra versus Helen of Troy. Beauty queens or power players? For centuries, Cleopatra and Helen of Troy have captivated the imagination, both inspiring awe and igniting fiery debate. Often painted as archetypal beauties whose allure sparked wars, their stories have been romanticized and embellished, blurring the lines between historical fact and myth. Today, we peel back the layers of history to ask, were Cleopatra and Helen simply pawns in a world dominated by men? Or were they cunning power players who wielded their influence to shape their destinies and the course of history? Helen of Troy, face that launch at 1,000 ships? Helen of Troy. Helen's legend is shrouded in the mists of Greek mythology. Renowned for her unparalleled beauty, she was said to be the fairest woman in the world. Her abduction by Paris, Prince of Troy, triggered the Trojan War, a decade-long conflict that claimed countless lives and immortalized her in epic poems like Homer's Iliad. However, historical interpretations paint a different picture. Scholars argue that Helen may have been a religious symbol or a personification of natural forces rather than a literal figure. Even if she existed, her role in the war likely wasn't solely motivated by her beauty. Political and economic factors may have played a more significant role in igniting the conflict. Cleopatra, Queen of the Nile, master of intrigue. Cleopatra, on the other hand, is firmly rooted in historical reality. The last active pharaoh of ancient Egypt, she ruled during a tumultuous period, maneuvering through a world dominated by Roman power. Though famed for her intelligence and charisma, Cleopatra's beauty was often used against her. Roman propaganda portrayed her as a seductive temptress who manipulated powerful men like Julius Caesar and Mark Antony to further her own ambitions. Yet, Cleopatra's legacy defies such reductionist labels. She was a skilled diplomat and negotiator, fluent in 9 languages. She oversaw economic reforms, staved off Roman annexation for years, and even commanded her own troops. While her relationship with Roman leaders played a role in her political strategy, it was hardly her sole weapon. Beyond the myths, unmasking true influence. So, were Cleopatra and Helen mere pawns or power players? Both women defied conventional expectations in their respective societies. Helen may have been a symbol of female agency and beauty, while Cleopatra was a complex and shrewd ruler who navigated a dangerous political landscape. Their stories resonate because they challenge simplistic narratives of women as passive objects of desire or victims of circumstance. However, it's important to remember that their historical portrayals have been heavily influenced by patriarchal biases and the lens of victors. Stripping away the myths and legends reveals women who were far more than just the sum of their beauty. They were intelligent, resourceful, and capable of wielding power in a world that often sought to marginalize them. The enduring legacy, queens shaping their narratives. In conclusion, while Cleopatra and Helen's stories differ in their historical grounding, both offer valuable insights into female agency and the complexities of power in ancient societies. By moving beyond the superficial narratives of beauty queens and delving into their political acumen and historical context, we gain a richer understanding of their true influence. Ultimately, their legacies remind us that women, throughout history,